as a former case agent that did drug cases, that is not what you want to hear, man. And this is common that they do this stupid shit where it's supposed to be a higher level drug, and then they tell you right before it's going to be weed. And this is common that drug organizations do this. They're not going to ship their main drug, aka cocaine, because cocaine is fairly expensive, guys. They're going to ship something a lot cheaper like marijuana or some bullshit, okay? But especially when you deal with cocaine, this almost always happens. I can tell you from a case agent perspective, they're going to deal with either very small quantities or it's weed. And this is just what happens. So you can obviously see the reaction on the undercover agent's face here. Obviously, this is just a reenactment, but I'd have the same goddamn reaction. I'd be pissed too. So let's see how they react to this curveball.
In character as Tony Romano, the detective acts upset at the change. But it's a big load, and would be the evidence they need to bring the operation to a close.
It was a heck of a test load. Normally, we hadn't seen anything like that. Test loads were like 1 or 2 kilos. See if it gets seized, goes onto the street, and let's see what happens.
The task force can't let that amount of drugs on the street. When the load arrives at the New York docks, undercover investigators transport it directly to Eppolito's warehouse. The investigators need to check the container's contents. But there's a seal on its door to ensure no one has opened it.
All right, so this is tricky. There's a seal on it, guys, which in the customs world, you want that seal to be intact because it shows that no one else opened it. Okay, now drug organizations are obviously very sophisticated at getting drugs into it without necessarily breaking the seal or whatever it may be. But for a drug organization, after they smuggle it in, they need to be able to make sure that that seal is still open. It's a very big indicator that no one's tampered with it. Okay, so let's see how they go around this.
It's a common practice in international shipping. Agents need to find a way to get inside and keep the seal intact. U.S. Customs Agent Phil Spinelli.
What they were able to do is to detach the door without breaking the seal.
Bam.
At first, it looks like a normal shipment of clothing. Stashed behind the shirts, marijuana. Literally tons of it.
Bam.
We recovered somewhere in the neighborhood of about 272 cartons or crates containing 19,000 pounds of marijuana valued in excess of $22 million.
Holy shit, 19,000 pounds of fucking weed?
But you see how much it's worth?
Yeah, $20 million.
Damn!
I guess that's one hell of a test load. You know why they sent that much, though? They were going to send thousands of kilos of cocaine.
But that was the test, right?
That was their test in weed, yeah. But the fact that they were able to send that much weed over tells me that they were prepared to send, literally, if they had, like, let's say they let this weed walk, which they never would, but let's say this weed, like, had safely facilitated through, they would have sent thousands of kilos of weed, of cocaine after this.
And imagine how much that will cost.
That would have been even more. That would have been even more because weed isn't
as expensive
as cocaine. Cocaine is by far the most expensive drug.
Right.
So this is fucking hilarious. So yeah, these guys, this organization just fucked themselves. But yeah, 19,000 pounds plus were $22 million. And $22 million in the 90s, guys, is the equivalent. Just so let's play with the inflation thing right quick. $22 million in 1991.
That's a lot of money.
Inflation calculator. Let's have some fun with this bad boy. Inflation calculator, right? By year. Here it is. All right. Let's pull this bad boy up real fast. Boom. So let's say if in 1991, okay, 22, that's 2,200. It's 22,000, 220,000, 2.2 million. That should be it. They can't even give it to me. If in 1991 entry. Oh, shit, got it. Yeah, put it in the wrong place. My bad, guys.
Yeah, the year go there.
Yeah. Bam.
2022.
22 million. Then 1991.
Today, 2022, right?
Yep. Calculate. Okay. That'd be $47 million today. Almost 50 mil. fucking wild.
That is ridiculous.
That's
and
how
that's
much.
just weed.
That's just weed, bro. That's how much weed these fucking guys
I don't
smuggled
even
in.
want to know how much cocaine
Yeah.
would have cost.